everything set up the way that I would like it to be. And hopefully this means that you guys will be able to join me. And then maybe we can have a little chat while I ply my first skein of Tour de Fleece. There we go. There we go. All right. Um, so today I am going to ply that Clouds at Dusk Cheviot from Jillian Eve. And I did it as a 1/4 fractal. It's a 2-ply. And I am, and oh, hi, I see a couple people joining. If you're joining in, please feel free to tell me where you're coming from, what you're spinning, what you're working on. Um, Also, it would be extremely helpful if anybody wants to hit the like, subscribe, um, all the thingies, the things, you know, that sort of stuff. That would be cool. I always appreciate that. Hi, Catherine from Idaho. I've been to Idaho before. I used to date somebody that was from Coeur d'Alene. It's a pretty little area. That was fun. Um, oh, okay, so I am currently charging my leader, getting it ready. Oh no. So here's the thing. This wheel came with a leader on it, but I think, I don't know if that means that it came from somebody else. Like they got it and they didn't like it. But the leader uh, is spun S twist and not. Mandy, you're scouring. What are you scouring? Oh, and Catherine, you're in Pocatello. I don't think I've been to Pocatello. I don't really know. That was a long time ago that I spent any time in Idaho. But yeah, so this wheel came with a leader on it, but it's spun clockwise. So when I just tried to do it, it, it unspun itself, and that's not gonna work. So I'm gonna see what happens when I do the rest of this because it's like red and white. So, but the red looks like it was a. You know what? We're gonna find out what happens. We are gonna find out what happens. Ooh, CVM. Oh, thank you, Evie, for letting me know. Yes, and Mandy, that they test that. That makes sense. But like, thank you for telling me. And that's great that they test it. I just was like, well, shoot, this is not gonna work, is it? Because it's unspinning my leader, and whoopsies. Um, Oh, I know, Colleen. The cherry. It's like I feel classy with this wheel. I feel so classy because it's got the black flywheel, drive wheel, and the cherry. It's just so pretty. I saw it when I saw it. When I saw it, Evie, Jillian Eve put that she had a couple in her shop. It was like my mind just short circuited, and I all of a sudden I was buying it. Well, they have a payment plan, so I did a payment plan. What in the good Jesus? I don't know what I just did. All right, we're gonna try this again. We're gonna try this again. Um, so Mandy, CVM. Oh, CVM is nice. I was just talking to somebody this morning, and I think it was this morning in the Discord server, Evie, the Jillian Eve Discord server, that is processing her first fleece, and it's a Ryland, which is not a breed that I have done before, but which very much so intrigues me. Um, so yeah, I have This is the shocked ladybug. It's the cherry ladybug. They just put it out for. It was like a special edition for somebody's birthday, I think. If Evie's still here, she can let us know. Um, oh, Indiana Faraday. Oh. Yes, you've had 18 hours since your last storm, and you have power now, right? You have power, which is good. Everybody's keeping okay. Thank you. Yes, I like. I love this wheel. I have my Louette and I have my Ashford traditional, which are both beautiful in their own ways. But this is like, I really wanted a flat iron purely based on appearances, but this checks that for me without taking up quite the amount of footprint. Doesn't have quite as big of a footprint. So yeah, no, we don't need it for treadling. It was funny, we had power go out once. We actually are very close to the hospital grid, if not on the hospital grid. So when power goes out where we are, it doesn't, shoot, am I spinning this the wrong way? About to find out. Wasn't I? Yes, I was. Alright, so that's why that was feeling my throat. That feels a lot better. Yes, the birthday of Mr. Shanks himself. Yeah, Catherine, the flat iron is like, it just looks so, I hate to say the word sexy because it's more than that. It's just classy and like a good suit. I don't know how to describe it. The flat iron just makes me like, I really was intrigued by that, but when I saw this, I was like, this makes more sense for me. Oh. You're spinning on your Ashford Traveler and an art bet. You don't know why you buy art bets. So here is something that I have been struggling with is, the idea of spinning art bats, needing them to be like big chunky art yarns. Like, I think first of all that all bats are arty. So elegance, yeah, elegant presence. Yes, Evie, that is correct. But if you have access to a carder or hand cards even, or a blending board, Catherine, you can take those art bats and make them much smoother if you want. Like, an art bat, I think, typically just goes through once and maybe twice, and that's why they have so much bulky, fluffy things in them, and you can always smooth them out more if you want. But, I mean, the thing is, they do look so pretty. Like, they're so intriguing and pretty, but they don't look like that when you spin them. That's why I have such a problem with, like, speckled yarns and, like, the hand-dyed, super variegated yarns. Ooh. I know Evie has all the access to all the stuff, so... Yeah, Faraday Farm. Evie has access to all that stuff. You can send her a message, and she will absolutely be able to hook you up with the whorls that you need. Yeah, Catherine, I like smoother things too. Like, I like spinning art bats, but I don't like using the yarn. It's not something that I enjoy myself with knitting or crocheting. Well, I don't mind doing it with crochet for like pillowcases or maybe bags, things like that. Like, then I'm okay with it. But I also picked up weaving because I feel like that's a better showcase for the art yarns that I might spin. But yeah, this is something it took me a while to figure out, that when you get something like a hand-dyed yarn, fiber, or a bat or something, you can always do more with it. You can always add more to it, recard it. You can comb that shit if you want. Like, it's totally up to you what to do with it. But yeah, I really like prefer using smoother yarns. Like, I'm not a super textured yarn person. If there's gonna be texture in my knitting, I want it to be texture that I put in by using like pearl bumps. So, but that is, I think there's a place for all of this stuff, the art bats and the, you know, because an art bat, if you think about it, sometimes it's almost just like, it's like something you can bounce off of to make that smoother yarn by blending it with more stuff or with just itself, you know. Or even those like hand-dyed comb tops and rovings and stuff. Like, it took me a while to figure out what I actually like, but to work with. But that doesn't mean that I don't like the colors that come in things. And so sometimes when I get this wildly crazy colored thing, or like I had a comb top braid that I liked the colors in, however, the fiber content of it was just not my favorite thing at all. So I carded a bunch of it up into a bat with some undyed, I think, tunis that I had processed. And it mellowed the whole thing out, made it much easier for me to spin. So, always an option. Always something fun to do. That's the best part about being the kind of fiber people that we are, is that there are no real rules. Like, you're not, like, once you get the thing from the person who made it and you've paid for it and it's done for, like, it's yours. You can do whatever you want with it, which is what I adore about this, is that there aren't rules and you don't have to, follow anybody else's prescribed methods if you don't want to. Oh God, guys, this is flying up so pretty. If I don't finish it in this live stream, I will be certainly taking a picture of it and putting it on Instagram. And I guess I have my nitty naughty. Go on vacation with a wheel, 3 braids of fiber, a nitty naughty, and a hardworking Kate. Like, yep. Making sure that, we decided to take my husband's car instead of mine down here. And I was like, do we have enough room? Because I need to bring all of this stuff. So, yeah, that's fun. How is everybody's bodies doing is everybody taking care of not doing super marathon sessions and hurting themselves? I know we're only on day 3, but, like, this is, you gotta take care of yourself, right? I've been working on doing smaller sessions and trying to not overdo it. But like this morning we went to the beach. We were there early. We were there for a couple of hours. And then, so I could only bring my knitting because, it's 90 degrees out. I'm not, like, the wool is just gonna, I'm gonna get sweaty and all that. So I just brought my knitting. And then we came back and we chilled out for a little bit. And then my husband and I went to the gym and, come back, take another shower, and get some time to spin. And get to ply this. I probably won't ply this all in one session, although I typically do just do all my plying in one session. I'm actively working to make sure I don't hurt myself. Yeah, don't forget, if you are watching, to please like the video. It's always helpful to do that. Give it a thumbs up, all that. Just so that I can get more people to come join us for these lives and chat with me, because quite honestly, sometimes like trying to figure out what to say while I'm spinning, it's just hard. It's like, But I like talking about fiber stuff. Um, if you can hear that noise, the hardworking cape that I have is a wooden box that my husband made for me, and he put put two sets of holes in for knitting needles. I can't find the other knitting needle, so I just have one bobbin rolling around the bottom of the box, and one bobbin is, rolling on a knitting needle. So that's what that excess noise is. Had to work today, but shorter session of spindle spinning just now. Yeah, I mean, that's the best. Like, spindles are fantastic for being able to get those quick little sessions in and, you know, filling in that time. Like I said yesterday, I think last Tour de Fleece, I was here again, and I just did, it was 6 ounces of finish fiber, I think. Yeah, finish. Fin. And I did it all spindle spinning, mostly supported spindles, and then Turkish or cross arm. What do you guys think about calling it a cross arm versus a Turkish? It makes sense to me to call it a cross arm so that it fully explains what it is. But, I was introduced to it as a Turkish spindle, so that's what I call it. But I don't mean to. I keep wanting to correct myself. I don't know. Does anybody else do that? Like where you learned what something is called one way, and then you find out later that it maybe doesn't actually work for a descriptor? Especially like the Irish and Scotch tension. I can't get those straight. I really, really can't. Ooh! You're scouring a giant Cordell fleece you bought Saturday at the Wisconsin or Wyoming Sheep and Wool Festival. Oh, tell me about it. What color is it? Do you love Cordell, or is it like just something you picked up because it spoke to you? Hi, Mary. How are you? Thanks for coming over to YouTube and watching. I met Mary a couple days ago on Instagram while I was doing a live, and she actually lives just like really close to me, which is crazy. I feel like I'm never going to meet anybody that lives close to me that does this. Ooh, a Gotland BFL. You've lost control of your purchases. I go through phases like that. I do go through phases like that where it's like I've got, I 10 fleeces getting delivered in a matter of weeks, and then I'll make myself stop and I'll wash everything, keep what I'm going to use for myself, and put the excess in the Etsy shop, and then I'll sell a bunch of stuff and decide I'm going to buy some more. Faraday Farm, you sat down to spin last night before bed listening to podcasts and then realized it was 3 a.m. Yeah, like, I used to do that with reading. Like, I would read books before I would go to bed, but then I was up until I would finish the book. Like, I would just read until it was done. Didn't matter what time in the morning it was. Then I had kids, and you cannot do that and function. So... Oh, the Cordell is white, and you haven't worked with it before, but it is. Yeah, I have not. I'm gonna full disclosure. I have not worked with washing merino from raw before. It is still not something I have done. I don't. I mean, I'm gonna do it because I want to have the experience of doing it to know what it's like and all of that. But it doesn't seem like something I would enjoy really. So it's not something I've really been eager to do, I should say. Yeah, Mary, I saw that you had like all those fleeces were washed and stuff. How many was it? 15 fleeces that were washed and ready to go for you for the year? See, I like washing fleece so much that like if I go like a month or two without washing, I feel like I need to do it. Is a nice Yeah, Gotland. You know what? Gotland is one I also haven't worked with that much. Like, I think I've done a couple samples, but nothing big, and it just looks so nice. I love the like steely grays Gotlands have. Oh, it's only 9, not 15. Okay. Yeah, it's like, you know. I mean, if the perfect fleece shows up on the radar, then all bets are off. Like, and you know, there's impulse. Like, impulse control is something you have to like work on, and you have to develop it. um, you've heard, yeah, Cordell, yeah, Cordell. I mean, to be honest, I don't think that there is any fleece that I would not consider beautiful in whatever in its own way. You know, I think that all sheep's wool is beautiful for different reasons. Even the hair sheep, even the Kempy ones, the ones that were like, oh, that's rug yarn, you know, all of that. I think it's all pretty in its own way. Um, yeah, yeah, Mandy, it's so hard to like it's so hard for me to not have like I love the magical part of scouring. I do. Um I don't know if they're gorgeous because you know I'm pretty rough on my hands, but no, they're doing pretty good. I have to say the water that I use is so hot. I have to wear gloves now because when I'm doing you know 10 pounds, 11 pounds in a day, it's a lot of really hot water. I was actually starting like the lanolin was nice, but I was starting to get dry hands from the amount of hot water I was putting my hands into. But yeah, it's like washing the raw fleece. It just feels like I just love it. It's very soothing. The whole process, skirting, picking, washing. You know, I enjoy all of it. Like I definitely am one of those people in the past that, like, I was a laborer. Like, you know, I could just tell I was not I was not a fine lady in the past, I don't think. um yeah. I do it's so cool the things that happen with washing fleece, you know. And what's really cool is when you get to show people who haven't done it before how it works. Like I've been fortunate enough to teach a few people how to do it, and you know it's always interesting. They just don't. They're so surprised, you know, and that connection back to like whatever part of ourselves comes from that time long, long ago. You know, I don't know. There's very woo woo stuff, but you know I feel connected for whatever reason through fleece washing specifically. Like I remember when I first started spinning, I was like this it's soothing, right? Like it's soothing in a way that you don't necessarily find a lot of things to soothe you, you know. It was relaxing, repetitive, meditative, yeah. um yeah, it's you know, it washing. It's all meditative to me. It cleaning things, getting something to work with your hands. Like I'm not a office. I'm just not an office person. Like having like I don't. I'm not. I was never gonna follow any sort of typical career path thing that had like computers and stuff. No. Um, and you love washing purchase fleeces too, Faraday Farm, even though you have sheep? That's cool. I mean, you know, like, if you want to try different fleeces, you have to buy them, or trade for them, or barter, or whatever, you know. I love a good barter. they're not coated and can get pretty rough. Yeah. I mean, but you know what? Like I have had plenty. Like you don't have to coat. I think to get them to be. I think it depends on your pasture and your feed situation. You know, from what I understand. I know Fossil Fibers, Corey has been doing lots of stuff with shepherds about how to manage their sheep pasture situation and feeding situation so that, you know, they can have fleece that's more viable for hand spinners. You know, because so many shepherds don't realize that their fleece is perfectly fine and doesn't need to go in the trash or the compost pile. You know, not that the compost pile is a bad place for it, you know, it's still getting used there. But like they don't need to burn the wool or whatever. So I don't know. What kind of sheep do you have again, Faraday? I don't remember. But yeah, I have a what is it? Oh, Rambouillet Columbia Cross. I picked up from the Dirty Fleece group on Facebook, and it's filled with VM, but the fleece is so gonna be worth it to comb. Like I'm not even much of a comber, but it is gonna be so worth it. It'll be absolutely worth it. Um, yeah. I mean, you know, in the winter, they say that you will get more, you will get less VM in a sheep's fleece in the fall shearing because they are pastured for the summer. They're not doing a whole lot of hay feed as they do during the winter. So when you have the spring shearing, that's going to be the one that has more VM. But yeah, it's great to have like different options and find people who coat or don't coat or who sell with you know, if it has high VM they sell it super cheap, you know, and then you get a good deal and it takes a lot of work, but if it feels good to do it, then it's not, you know, it's not a bad thing. And I think that's the difference is like so many people, like if you enjoy the process that you're doing, then you don't have to rush it. You don't have to make it go by as quick as possible. I don't think anyway. But East Frisian, yes. East Frisian, Clun Forest, Lincoln, and North Country Cheviot. Ooh. The North Country Cheviot. I washed a bunch of fleece for Peterson Shepherds, and by Cape Cod, and it was beautiful, beautiful fleece. I'm about to wash a whole bunch of Lincoln too. I just washed a Clun Forest. That was fun. It's an interesting fact. I hadn't ever really worked with it, but it has like this super lofty feel to it. You know, it feels like you could make the lightest, warmest sweater with it if you spin it woolen. East Frisian, I worked with an East Frisian fleece not too long ago that I had gotten that was, there was some rough stuff with it, but when I got it cleaned up, it was really, really nice. It almost reminded me of Romney in a way, like just very, it felt like it was a very stable fiber, like just like no matter what you were gonna do with it, it was gonna be all right. Ramsey, oh, I'm so sorry. Sorry to hear that. Catherine, look at you! Look at you! You're already itching for a different face. I love it. Faraday, Faraday, you have an Instagram, right? Because go ahead and just pop your Instagram, if you're Faraday Farm on Instagram or whatever, pop that in the chat so that people can find you elsewhere too. You know, like, this is the thing, we want to get people connected with people. You know, make sure you're following everybody. You know, it's we want this community, this fiber community, to be as widespread as possible. You know, at least I do. That's how I feel about it. You know, it's like I want everybody to talk and communicate and have fun with each other and not be competitive. Like, there's plenty to go around for everybody. So yeah, if anybody wants to share their Instagram handles and all that stuff, Faraday, you have to go look. I love that. I love that. Yeah, if anybody has Instagram handles or whatnot that they want to share in the chat, please go ahead. You know, like, we're just here chatting. Let's continue to meet each other, right? In the different places that we can meet. You know, I love being able to share information and everybody. So yeah, Mary, you know, like, I know there are spinners around me. Like, I know there have to be spinners. Like, I'm in New England, you know, like, there gotta be spinners. It's just, how do you find each other with, other than through happenstance? So, you know, it's like I was trying to find guilds and stuff that meet close by. That doesn't happen, you know. But just go to the fiber festivals and get on the social medias and just babble on about what you love to do. All right. So I am clocking in about 22 minutes here, so it is time for me to take a little break. This is looking so good. Let me see if I can turn it so you guys can see. Look at that. Look at that. It's playing up so nice. I cannot wait for this. So, oh yeah, Faraday, where are you? Thank you, Mary. Faraday, where are you? Like, we have a couple of thank you, Marge. Marge or Marg? Marge? Yeah, Marge. Oh yes, West Central Indiana. Yeah, it can be hard when you don't have the local yarn shop, for sure. Thank you, Catherine. But, you know, if we start meeting people and we can just, like, get some sort of sit and spin, stitch and bitch, whatever you want to call it, you know, at least get a group together. That's fun. That can help, you know. But thank you guys so much for joining me today. I will certainly be going on again tomorrow, and I will be trying to post at least an hour ahead of time when I'll be doing the live, just because it's kind of hard for me to know, you know, in the morning, like, what the rest of the day is going to bring. So we'll see. But I hope I see you tomorrow on here. Thank you for joining. And thanks, Mary. And if you're interested, you can probably check out Instagram later, and I will post the plied skein. All right. Thank you so much, guys, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye.